Let it ready. Let it
Artists from around the world bring their art to life with animation and sound, using a custom app.
Welcome to Shen Vietnam. AR or augmented reality can make miracles happen through your phone. This is especially apparent in the ambitious protected reality project made possible through the iJack application. After North America and Australia, Da Nang is lucky to be selected to host the first exhibition in Vietnam and the first of its kind in South Asia. The story begins with Chris McBride, a British artist and animator who live and work in Da Nang. First of all, could you tell us a little bit about your work in Vietnam so far?
Yes, I've been in Vietnam for the last 3 years, living here in Da Nang. When I first came, I was still working as a full-time teacher, but over the last years, I've been working more and more with art, teaching art classes to kids and adults, and then also working with foreign and local artists here in Da Nang. And we've been starting to make some exhibitions, showcases, and then finally the augmented reality exhibition.
You are one of the first artists to work with AR technology. So what made you interested in this technology in the first place?
Well, I come from a background in animation, and so when I first started to see augmented reality be used by my friend Stu in Australia, I was very excited because it was this new way to view animation. Working with animation is always kind of difficult because it takes such a long time to produce, and the only ways to watch it are on a TV screen or a computer screen or in the cinema. And so when I saw Stu making these comic books that were coming to life with the mix of print media and animation, I thought it was very exciting. You know, you were never really able to have a piece on a wall in a gallery or an exhibition and have the animation work with it, you know. So it was really the merging of some stuff that I really loved and an exciting new way to view animation and art.
What can you say about the development of AR, our project, and protected reality project?
Well, until now there has been a very limited amount of artists and artwork using AR. So there was only a few artists in the world that had started to utilize it. When the iJack guys, they made this project and got so many different artists involved, I think it was just a really great showcase of how diverse and interesting AR art can be. You know, you had all of these different ideas, different stories, and different techniques all shown in one place in this book. So I think it was the first time that AR was really shown to be this new art form, a new medium, and it was a very exciting project to be a part of, and then to see the reaction that it gets around the world, and to see the reaction here too.
Why did you decide to organize a protected reality exhibition in Da Nang?
Well, because of my participation in the project and my friendship with Stu, I knew that I was in a position to be able to get the license to do that and to, get the cooperation with the guys there. And, I definitely wanted to take that opportunity to showcase that work here in Da Nang. And, it's still such early days with this technology, and especially the art side of it. There's only been a handful of exhibitions around the world. So I thought it was a great opportunity to get Da Nang at the forefront of this development and to, start to inspire people to use or view this kind of work right now when it's still so fresh and new.
Đó, để hai mẹ đi đúng được mà không cho quậy qua.
Should be starting we were currently doing it, it was close to the Dragonworks location.
Cái đầu tiên mình muốn nói là thật sự mình rất là ấn tượng. Các bạn đã đưa đến cho cái nghệ thuật đương đại của Việt Nam và nói chung và nghệ thuật ở Đà Nẵng này nói riêng thì đó là một làn gió mới, một cái mà rất nhiều người từ trước tới giờ không có thấy, các bạn trẻ không thấy, mọi người không thấy, và bây giờ họ thấy được một cái gì mà nó rất là mới lạ, rất là đương đại và Thanh chỉ nói là một câu rất tuyệt vời.
I've never heard of AR before, augmented reality, and I find it a really exciting concept. I'm a bit older than a lot of young artists who are doing this now, but it's very exciting and it can branch into other art fields like theatre and other types of communication. It's my first time seeing this kind of work, and I really love it, and I wish I'd charged my phone up to the maximum so I could see everything.
I think AR in the world has always been reserved for, like I said, corporations and and phones and so forth that are introducing AR capabilities, especially now with the new iPhone X coming out, where AR is basically part of that phone and it's selling it as that. But I think now, just more so for the artists, that people can walk into a room and experience something completely different, walk around and then basically take their phone out and see something, and it's a different way of kind of bringing that expression to a new level. So I think that it's a completely new thing that hopefully will develop over here in Vietnam and around the world, and that the artists and the skill that goes behind being able to do something like this gets appreciated and gets acknowledged. I think it's an amazing thing.
In your opinion, what are the advantages in developing AR technology in Vietnam?
Well, there's many different practical applications of it. AR has started to be utilized in the medical field, in medical books and education, a lot in architecture, which I think can have a lot of practical usages here in Da Nang. Imagine when you see your blueprints can come to life and you can view the different layers and stages of the building process. And then also more commercial things, advertising, PR, and even things like menus. But I think the advantages of starting to use it now is that it's really still at its point of innovation. So there's no reason why people in Vietnam can't start to develop their own uses of AR, to develop their own projects, applications, and be it commercial or artistic. You know, now is the time to start thinking about how it's going to be used in the future. So I think the main advantage is doing it now. You know.
How will you work with Vietnamese artists and partners in developing AR arts projects?
Well, so far I have tried to reach out to some artists, animators, and video editors to see if they would be interested to work with AR. But I think until people actually see it for themselves, it's very hard to think about how to work with that. And also people are intimidated by it if they have never worked with animation, for example. And it seems quite unrealistic to make something. But actually, you know, with the right technique and right idea, you can bring a piece of art to life kind of simply. So I would like to, from the exhibition, I hope that there's people that have been inspired, people that have some of the skills or would like to learn the skills. And then I would like to make myself available to them to help develop ideas or to show how to use basic animation. And I think one of the first things that we will do is to organize some workshops, introductions to thinking about AR, and introductions to basic animation techniques. It doesn't have to be crazy complicated, you know, doesn't have to be 3D modeling or traditional animation. Just have to have the right idea and a little bit of knowledge of the editing programs and how to make it.
In your opinion, how can AR, technology-based art project, will be expanded in the future?
Well, for me, the sky is the limit. I mean, at the moment, the technology is still kind of simple, you know. So there's going to be more developments in smartphone technology and how we actually use and interact with that. But for the actual projects, it's whatever people want to use it for. You know, there are so many artists in Vietnam that can utilize it, and then, you know, there's people that will have ideas that I will not think of. So it's really up to the people of Vietnam how much they want to use it and what they do with it. But you know, I could see it being used in so many different fields, and you know, from very big AR works to simple stuff that maybe only a few people see, from personal projects and stories to commercial advertising and branding, you know. But the sky's the limit, so it's whatever people imagine, they can start to use it.
Finally, could you tell us about your own plan in developing art in Vietnam for the coming years?
Yes, great. So, yeah, we've been working with the artists here in Da Nang, and I would like to continue with that work. So we've been making the exhibitions and events. Actually, the augmented reality exhibition was the first time for myself to get the license and to go through that process. So I would like to keep working with that and make it possible for other artists to exhibit, and working closer with the government and the organizations here in Da Nang. Also, we're working at opening the workshop as a cafe and gallery, and I would like that to be you know, a space that artists can work, a place where regular people can come to find out more about art in Da Nang, and then also to help promote specific artists' work, both in and around Da Nang or Vietnam and online too. So we're working to develop a portfolio website for people, and then also to continue supporting the classes for kids and adults, and to expand that too. You know, so it's not just myself teaching, but other artists that want to share. I would like to be able to facilitate that in our place, and of course to continue working with AR and helping other people become introduced to working with AR, and yeah, just to be a part of this growing arts community here in the city.
That's all for Share in Vietnam today. We're looking forward to enjoying more and more publications, exploring the soul of Vietnam through experience of friends from around the world. Thank you for watching and see you again next time.